I think I want to call this tape Planet of Androids, or Planet Earth of Androids, or Robots. Um, it's contrary to what might be thought to be the case otherwise, that, and I think July Star talked about this, that there was an instance where possibly on this planet that we could produce, you know, life-size robots or androids or equivalent to grays that they've got on these other star systems and something like that. It's actually, they have a little bit more interesting type of way of doing it. They can keep everything in place. They can keep your body and everything in place. They just go through and they brainwash you, or they get you to channel enough in another direction that you lose yourself. You know, and channeling isn't just about somebody closing their eyes and opening up their subconscious or their spirit, whatever, to some entity to come through. And channeling can be sitting in front of a TV or reading a bunch of books, you know, where you got a bunch of other people's opinions, but you got nothing originally yourself. But then on the other hand, you have connection with Supreme Entity, and you find out things you're supposed to find out through him about things that relate to your Akashic field development and whatnot. You know, you're still going to have to get it by invitation and whatnot. But still, in a way, you're going to channel. You're going to channel that as well, and that's going to be part of your makeup. So it's hard to say who's not channeling anything, you know, or the channeling is not going on for everybody. It just depends on for what and for what reason. So if you're passively involved at this point in time in the history of mankind, and you want to play the classic stupid game on that, well, then you become the system's nigger, as they say, or their bitch. And I use that colloquially, not, you know, making remarks about blacks, whatever, or whatever, or women per se. But you know, you become their slave when and you accept their doctrines and all that stuff, and you become that. So what I've noticed too is that when I was watching different people's talk on Camelot Project, I think there was a guy named O'Leary. He was a guy who'd gone to the moon and maybe he was going to go to Mars, and he'd written a book about different types of energy systems that were discovered in different parts of the world. And he was down in Ecuador, supposedly out of harm's way, which is really bullshit. You're not out of harm's way anywhere on this planet. But anyway, be it as it may, when I tuned into him and everything, and later on when I tuned into him, I got that he was completely taken over. But it doesn't surprise me, because here was a highly intellectual person with that. You know, there's a lot of intellectual people out there, highly intelligent enough, but never got in contact with his spirit with that. The soul or the mind is like the favorites on a computer and that. You know, you download it off the everywhere and every when type internet, you know, and then you take those things which you feel or things you'd like to know about, and that's what your mind or your intellect is about. It's a sub-downloading sensation with that. But when that becomes everything that has to be discerned and figured out, we have to go through the intellect to figure everything out. Just like the Christian has to use the Bible, the Muslim has to use the Quran, the Vedic people have to use the Bhagavad Gita or what have you. I don't know. I might not know what I'm talking about there, but anyway, you have to constantly refer to some book with that. Then you've made yourself wide open for a target for takeover with that. And the autonomous man, the model of sociology, is very hard to determine who qualifies for that, or who is qualifying for that on a regular basis. From that, to sit there and say that the remark by David Wilcock that said that they've been shown, or he was told by other people in science areas, that said that about 15% of the population is not able to be brainwashed or not. That's probably very generous on that. I'm beginning to wonder if the percentage is less than 1%, or less than 1/1000th of 1%. the stuff I see on a regular basis, and the absolute stupidity and insanity of people. They don't listen. They don't pay attention to what was told them. They were asked a question. They gave an answer to something else that wasn't asked them. You know, in all fields of life, on that, whether it's in the trades or in passing the time at a store, or going to some different meetings, whether it be religious or philosophical, whatever. And it's just this constant stupidity that rages on with that. You think, well, I'm being overly serious or elitist or whatever, but you know, then you got things going on TV, and even the statements are made by a lot of other people about a lot of different things when that it just doesn't wash, you know. And then how can we then have the excuses for these rampant stupidities that we have in today's culture and that? I don't know. It just seems like that the warm jacket that you're going to have to all buy is very tenable. Well, only a small part of you are going to go on in the upcoming transition and move on into the higher growth realms. And there's many realms of higher growth that go beyond this. So this is a fucking nursery down here. In this nursery, there'll be throngs of people that are going to be thrown back into an ice age, thrown back into physicality, and you know, and start it all over again. You might want to call that a hell, but I don't know if it's any different than the hell they're in now. It's their mind. Their mind takes them where they want it to go, and in this case, they're going to be forced to take one choice they chose not to develop themselves in the here and now, in the past many years that went by. You know, you back each other on each back, and oh yeah, we're part of the good old boy club, and we got this clique going, that going, and meanwhile, it's a highway to hell. And I don't mean I'm not talking about some area with flames on that. I mean, actually, with the ice age coming in for so many people, that's going to be that would not be such a bad thing to happen after all. When that. And a side note, this Republic of the United States thing, his head guy, Turner, from what I've seen, was taken over. I hate to say that, but that's the witness I got on it. And I have some friends in that organization that will probably think otherwise. You know, say, oh yeah, you know, Turner knows about a lot of things. Yeah, there's a lot of people that know about a lot of things. They're aware about a lot of things, but does that make them experiential people? Have they been given graces to ascend into those different realms? I mean, just like there's a lot of people who know about a lot of things about mechanics and science, whatnot. Does that make them auto mechanics, or does it make them plasma developers, whatnot, and science, whatnot? Yeah, they know about it, but are they able to do anything about it? That remains to be seen with that. So. Consciousness is a very pertinent issue that needs to be addressed, and time is running out, you know. And maybe in this upcoming years you can make a fast transition and put aside all the bullshit and that, and listen real carefully to what's going on. Because if not, you know, you're going to go back in time to a time you wish you wasn't at. You know, won't be forever, but you know, so be it. You know.